It's like, John, get it together. It's like, dude, I do have it together. It just don't seem like because my freaking luck has been terrible when it comes to my relationship with USADA.
Hello, I'm Cavassier, the goddamn newt. John Jones appeared before the California State Athletic Commission for his failed drug test at UFC 214. Jones popped for having the anabolic steroid Turinabol in his system. The expectation was John and his legal team would present physical evidence and provide a logical explanation for the fact that John Jones had steroids in his system. Wrong. This is Howard Jacobs. He's John's lawyer. The first 40 minutes of the hearing, Jacobs had the opportunity to present evidence and make arguments to build a defense for John Jones. Jacobs presented zero evidence. He refrained from offering the commission a single theory to explain the presence of steroids in John Jones's body the night he fought Daniel Cormier. The second half of the hearing was John giving testimony and being questioned by the commission. Lacking conventional or even coherent defense from his lawyer, John was left to speak on his own behalf. With so much on the line, it's strange to put John Jones in a spot to make a verbal defense without the benefit of facts or evidence or linguistic acumen or a clean track record with drugs and PEDs or the reputation for honesty, decency, or sound judgment. In this episode, we'll take John Jones at his word, or words if you will. The hearing lasted more than 2.5 hours. All sorts of interesting things happened. There are many ways to analyze it. We'll start by listening to what John Jones says in his own defense.
My request would be that John be allowed to make a short statement first and then answer any questions.
Sounds reasonable. And old Jacobs likes this. That's some pretty serious hand-rubbing there. Squanto make fire? The gesture is universal. Jacobs is full of anticipation. This is what he came for and wants to get into it. But John, not so much. He turns to Jacobs because there is no prepared opening statement. Are you kidding? Why did Jacobs tell the commission John would make an opening statement if John Jones wasn't prepared to make an opening statement?
John, please start by introducing yourself.
The commissioner tries to help things along by asking John to introduce himself.
How's it going, guys? I'm John. And,
Hi guys, I'm John. A little casual, but he's building steam.
what statement I'm going to make? I think
Mr. John, excuse me. Witness be sworn in.
Until the lawyer for the state wants John under oath. Watch John's reaction to the idea of swearing in. He pulls his arm down, sits upright, and addresses his shirt buttons. John's worried things aren't in place after the quick interruption and tries to create order.
Madam Court Reporter.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in the matter now handed you shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
When John takes the oath, he closes his eyes and lowers his head just as he's saying the words, "Yes, ma'am." In this context, you close your eyes when you want to hide from others or the truth or from yourself. In conjunction, the slight bow of the head can be shame or an amplification of hiding eyes.
So, we are here.
Relief. The exaggerated exhalation purges stress, but also allows for a reset of persona, much like the deep breath an actor takes to get in the right headspace before a dramatic performance.
It doesn't wait until I'm awake. I awake already panic-stricken.
Yeah, like that.
So, we are here.
Jones resets. He needs to get back in the easy comfort of his, honestly, there's nothing to hide here persona.
Oh, Bones Jones. Oh, these little chicken legs. Oh.
And, quite a really interesting situation. I think I'd rather you guys ask questions first.
Okay, that's
Yeah?
fine.
Is that cool?
Would-
It's like, where do I start with what to say?
John's not good with extemporaneous verbal communication, so he asks for the safety of prepped questions from his lawyer and the comfort of rehearsed answers.
When you found out that you had tested positive, what was your reaction?
We see the foundation of John's defense right here.
It was a terrible reaction. It just probably one of the more confusing things I've ever had to do, especially because of the process of trying to figure out how it all happened. You know, I was immediately asked to look at the people around me and see how this got in my body.
From the jump, John begins the not-so-subtle art of defense through inference and insinuation. You'll see throughout that John avoids making testable statements at all cost. Check this out. I didn't notice it at first, but John makes a mistake. Watch Jacobs, the lawyer.
Especially because of the process of trying to figure out how it all happened. You know, I was immediately asked to look at the people around me and see how this got in my body.
As John talks, Jacob watches the commissioners or checks his notes until John includes a problematic detail.
Immediately asked to look at the people around me and see how this got in my body.
Immediately asked to look at the people around him? Johnny, if you were immediately asked, then it was somebody else's idea, not yours. And the whole counter-narrative thing starts to sound like a cynical bit of lawyering. It's a delayed reaction because Jacobs is a pro, but make no mistake, Jacobs is not pleased. He gives the hard stare, looks away, then subtly chews the inside of his mouth and looks back at John. That second look is hilarious because it's the realization that John could unintentionally say just about anything, no matter how damaging.
So yeah, it was a really interesting situation, just trying not to go through crazy conspiracies and look at people that I love as someone who could maybe put something in my food or drink or anything like that.
Insinuation number 1.
Someone who could maybe put something in my food or drink or anything like that.
Someone I love probably slipped a highly illegal black market steroid into my pina colada.
To try to figure out what caused the positive once you found out about it.
Well, we sent in all the supplements that we took leading up the 3 weeks before and the 3 weeks after. You know, both groups of supplements that we took, we've gotten them all tested. And man, I've just tried to just imagine any scenario, maybe someone who doesn't like me possibly doing something to a meal or a drink.
That's a variation on the first theme. Someone drugged me.
This situation is like really crappy because it's just like, I don't understand how any of this happened and how this got in my system. I'm trying to be super open and candid and make myself available to anyone, whether it's my team, their lawyers, you guys, that do farther testing, whatever I can do to just try to prove that none of this stuff makes sense to me.
John's in the same boat as the commission and everyone else. He doesn't understand how another PED happened. Again, this time, either
water, fire, air, and dirt. 50 magnets, how do they work?
So whatever I can do to just try to prove that none of this stuff makes sense to me.
only a truly innocent man would be willing to prove that.
In this scenario, if we were to ignore all the dumb things that I've done in the past, it's just like, it almost makes you feel like, dude, if you have the troubled past, you have no rights for no matter what evidence you come up with or can't come up with. It's just, you're just guilty.
John proposes an equivalency between evidence and no evidence. You know, because having evidence to back up your innocence is the same as not evidence.
You have no rights for no matter what evidence you come up with or can't come up with. What I am saying is that I'm in a really crappy situation because I'm faced with the fact that I started wrestling when I was about 11 years old, and it's led me to college, and it led me to state champions in high school, and all types of state championships throughout high school, and national championships in college, and become the youngest UFC champion in sports history. And now, steroids out of nowhere. Like, don't you guys think achieving all those things, if I was a steroid guy through all these great achievements, I would have been caught a long time ago. It's like I understand that you guys had to clean up the sport, but I think it'd be super important to throw people and lock them away, throw the keys away to people who are caught with situations that are undisputable.
Undisputable. You know, like caught red-handed.
Undisputable. Like this, and in my situation, it's like, why would he do steroids 1 week before his fight? This kid's been winning since day one. Why would he do steroids 1 week before his fight? Since steroids out of nowhere. So if you guys are gonna clean up the sport, clean it in a situation, and I'm not telling you guys what to do, obviously you guys are in charge and this is really out of my hands. But in situations where you're just like, dude, this kid is so guilty.
Yeah, so guilty. Go after that guy. You know, one of those guys who are not me. We just heard John lay out some theories, sort of. Now pull out your Reynolds Wrap fedora, Art Bell. It's conspiracy time.
I'm not blaming anything on USADA. It's just who thought a null enhancement pill would land you a year outside of work?
It's probably good you're not blaming USADA.
Unfortunately, I've had some science stuff happen to me that has really reflected and kind of put me in this position of just being a lost cause or a screw up.
Sorry, John. Unless you picked up third-degree rug burns in the back of Bill Nye's pedo van as a kid, science doesn't just happen to you.
I'm trying to sell you on the idea of cells.
It's been science that has been kicking me in the ass, if I can say that.
And I don't wanna talk to a scientist. Y'all motherfuckers lying and getting me pissed.
To be honest with you, it's like a really hard question to happen because I didn't do this in the first place. And so it's like, you know, do you believe in conspiracies? What do I have to do? Like lock myself in a closet and literally just keep me and my wife in the same room to make sure I'm not tainted by anybody or anything? It's like.
Finally, John Jones says something reasonable. If he's gonna hide from USADA in a closet for the rest of his life to avoid science, he damn well better consider a pussy loophole of some sort.
Like I said, take a sex pill that you're planning on having in your intimate private life, you know? Resort to estrogen blockers, a year suspension, and it's like, what in the world is going on? And then to knock out Daniel Cormier and such a proud moment and to have all these people that are so proud look at me like, what in the world's going on? It's like John, get it together. It's like, dude, I do have it together. It just don't seem like because my freaking luck has been terrible when it comes to my relationship with USADA.
Excuse me, did you just go from dick pills to the capricious nature of luck with the DC knockout and a reenactment of your battles with critics in between? The narrative arcs coming out of Yanapatawpha County aren't half as convoluted as what you just did there, John Jones. I'm just saying.
Absolutely, and that's like me being here. I'm not sitting here saying that USADA's lying on me.
Yeah, John, you kinda are. Well, that's what I see. In this episode, we looked at John Jones's defense, in his words. Without a cogent defense from his legal team, the responsibility to set the record straight fell to Jones. Unfortunately for John, he's not well acquainted with the finer points of elocution. In the short run, it worked out well. The California Commission was more than happy to make a cash grab in lieu of consequences. Longer term, it's up to USADA, and John provided plenty of extra ammunition with his testimony should they come gunning for him at their own hearing later this year. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, like it, because sitting on the fence won't make the world a better place. Let me know your thoughts or questions in the comment section below, or over on the Twitters. Remember, this isn't supposed to be easy.